very short because Anmol was very clear. That's another. Let's make it very crisp. So, gentlemen, those who don't know Anmol Chawla is the founder and the CEO of Vraksh Consulting, which is more into event thing. So I'll straight away come to the questions, Anmol. How do you navigate the dynamic landscape of event planning? Because there are people who would like to do the event planning, and of course this is also an event, considering the ever-changing trends of clients' expectations.
Hi, thank you for having me here. So dynamics, I mean, यहाँ पे जितने भी लोग हैं, I'm sure हर कोई अपने आप को event planner समझता है, because हर के घर में weddings होती हैं, correct? This is also an event wherein, of course, logistics are there. So why should anybody come forward firstly of the thought कि hire करना है या नहीं करना है event manager? So that's where we come into picture, because it is a traditional line of business, technically saying. But still, we do come up with certain ideas wherein थोड़े से और impactful होते हैं. We try to take hassles away from the organizing committee. अब organizing committee family भी हो सकती है for their wedding. एक organizing committee, managing committee भी हो सकती है for this event, right? So dynamics बहुत different है दोनों, because emotions बहुत different है, correct? चाचा ताऊ फूफा involve होते हैं in a wedding, in a family function, उनके emotions बहुत different है अपने जिनकी उनके घर में शादी हो रही है. On the corporate side, it is slightly easier because चलता है, because Jeff Bezos is not directly involved in the event. It's the managerial team. So उनको पता है जो भी BOQ का part है, it is being executed, hence it is fine. So dynamics काफी different है, emotions काफी different है, but yes, by and large, where we make money is by giving you the service, the hassle-free service, and it is actually need of the hour these days. हमारा industry actually काफी boost हो चुका है when it comes to that, because of the I would say अगर मैं कहूँ उसको rightly point out करूँ, जितने भी let's say there are 10 persons in the in an organizing committee, तो हर एक के set vendors होते हैं, if I come to that, correct? हर एक की अपनी involvement हर कोई अपना चाहता है कि deeply involved हो with the event company. Now हर एक के कुछ कभी कईयों के तो commissions भी set होते हैं, correct? Let me point that way as well. But still right team को hire करना for your right projection, because it is a very small element of the marketing industry. You're hosting a big wedding, आप पंडित जी के साथ जाके मंदिर में भी करा सकते हैं शादी, correct? But still we host in ADOT, ferns and petals. It is family marketing. But you want the right team for the right marketing, hence the dynamic should be set correctly.
Great. So with this, I come to the second question, is that what strategies are implemented to ensure the seamless execution of the events while adapting to the unforeseen situations? I said, what strategies have you implemented to ensure that you are having a seamless event, though there are certain unforeseen situations?
So our industry is more dependent on the labor work, I say, because on ground technicians, सामान आएगा तो उतरेगा. अब वो बहुत ज़्यादा dependent है on labor, तो labor अपना sweet time देता है, to dismantle and put it together. तो उसमें where we उनके ऊपर हम rely करते हैं, it is our operations team who are actually skilled, who want to deal with the labor part, but of course in a sophisticated way. But at times sophistication भी काम नहीं आ पाता है. So there are different ways to look at it. So overall, the experience that we try to curate for any person, I'll try to point out one important thing. As you see, let's say let's take an example of this event. तो यहाँ पर मान लीजिए लाख, 2 लाख, 5 लाख खर्च हुए होंगे, correct? So when you try to give a service of such amounts, 5 lakhs, 1 crore maybe, तो service can be a product. अगर एक प्रोडक्ट डिप्लॉय किया गया, उसकी अगर वैल्यू 1000 रुपीज़ है, तो 1 करोड़ की सर्विस देने के लिए आपको कम से कम टर्न अराउंड टाइम शुड बी 1 वीक और 1 मंथ डिलीवरी टाइम. बट हमारे बिजनेस में क्या होता है कि वही सर्विस हमें लिटरली 2 से 3 घंटे में लाइव देनी है ऑन स्पॉट. तो स्टेक होल्डिंग इज क्वाइट लार्ज. कुछ गूफ अप होगा तो यही होगा, पैसे कटेंगे तो इसी को ध्यान में रखते हुए कटेंगे, तो हमारी स्टेक होल्डिंग बढ़ जाती है. हेंस we try to keep the team in place जो experts हैं, ताकि कंपनी लेवल पे रिस्क मैनेजमेंट थोड़ी सी कर्व हो सके when it comes to final billing and the invoicing. So that's how we take it.
Great. So yeah, I understand last minute में कितना problem होता है because today in the morning literally my photographer was not picking up the phone and I was panicked. So my husband said अरे आ जाएगा 5 साल से कर रहा है तो कोई problem नहीं है. But वो panic में होता क्या है कि आप 10 लोगों को और phone करके और panic कर देते हो कि एक photographer चाहिए, एक videographer चाहिए. Obviously event इतना सब कुछ किया है when you don't have the person. So that's where I understand that how labor intensive this market is. However, Anmol, बहुत सारी event companies हैं जो कर रही हैं, and you are one among them. So how are you different from others?
कमाल की बात है, कोई भी इवेंट कंपनी डिफरेंट नहीं है. जस्ट एट कि किसका क्लाइंट बेस क्या है, इट ऑल डिपेंड्स ऑन दैट. हाउ वी आर डीलिंग विद द मैनेजमेंट टीम, कितना तहजीब से भारी आवाज़ से हम उनसे बात कर पा रहे हैं ताकि वो हमारे से कन्विंस हो के हमें अपना इवेंट सौंपें. तो बट येस, आई मीन सिंस वी ट्राई टू डिप्लॉय टेक एवरी डे, not every company is trying to deploy tech when it comes to events. Now, tech is a very, I would say, vast word these days. But technical mindset, at the same time, technical operations, perfection. So, somebody from my team was asking, so we have an event right now ongoing as well. कि सर आपको इवेंट बहुत अच्छा था, आज पता है बहुत मज़ा आया, कैसा लगा आपको? मैंने कहा वो तो तुम बताओगे, यू वर एन ऑडियंस देयर. फॉर मी इफ यू आस्क, आई मीन परफेक्शन, सो परफेक्शन आ ही नहीं सकता इस इंडस्ट्री में बिकॉज वी आर लेबर डिपेंडेंट. क्योंकि अगर हम परफेक्शन की बात करेंगे तो यहाँ पे भी सारे फ्लॉज निकल सकते हैं, बट इट इज़ एक्चुअली परफेक्ट राइट नाउ. तो राइट तरीके से उस क्लाइंट की साइकोलॉजी क्या है, वंस दे आर हैंडलिंग अस द इवेंट, उस साइकोलॉजी को, उस इमोशंस को कंट्रोल करके रखना इज़ द ओनली थिंग दैट वी प्ले अराउंड. बिकॉज एक फ्लेक्स अगर सही नहीं खिंचा है तो हर एक को ऑब्जर्व नहीं होगा, राइट. हमें पता रहेगा, 100 लोगों को नहीं पता रहेगा. हो सकता है एक बंदा होगा जो पॉइंट आउट करते हैं, बट इट वोंट मैटर मच. ऑर्गेनाइजर को सही लगेगा, हाँ मेरा अच्छा हो गया, खाना पीना अच्छा हो गया, सबको मिलेगा खाना पीना, एंड देन सबको फेलिसिटेशन अच्छा हो गया, ऑब्लिगेशंस being met in the right fashion. That is the only point which we try to take care firstly. उसके बाद obviously logistical operations is everybody's job. उसमें कोई दिक्कत नहीं.
We come to the last part of the thing before Unimaya builds it. So अगर event industry में किसी को आना है, what do you think? What are the personality traits that a person should have? Because we are a team of career counselors and educators. And I'm sure कभी ना कभी हम लोग mentoring करेंगे तो वो चीज़ आएगा ही आएगा. So what do you think? What should be the traits that we should be looking at when we are sending somebody to event company or event management course के लिए?
So I would say primarily every event budget for anybody is a luxury budget. It is not a necessity, right? So if you're sitting here, this event is being organized. It's not a necessity. This might be on the luxury front of it, wherein we want to invite people, have a cozy gathering, etc. So when we try to employ people, it is more towards ki how are they able to control the client psychology, or maybe sit across the table. If at all we want them to tell their expertise why they are in this company. क्योंकि एक event को host करने के लिए there are almost 20 to 30 people involved, from the design team, from the video team, from the camera team, from the operations team. तो हर department का psyche different है. Now, अगर मेरे से कोई client बहुत close है, तो they would want every information coming from my side only. But we try to change the dynamics in a subtle way, wherein we try to introduce our team members to them. कि okay boss, you can deal with them directly. They are okay. But just on when we try to hire them, हम उस चीज़ को ज़रूर notice करते हैं. At least हम तो करते हैं कि are they enough, they fit enough to sit in front of a corporate client. So let's say Adobe is my client. I've introduced 10 odd people from my company who design on Adobe, and this, they have met those people who code Illustrator. So we try to give them the opportunity, and that's where we try to just check that psychology. Okay, you might be lacking on the tool set, but are you willing to go one step above when we want you to represent the company in front of the direct the client? अब वो ये कि ये skillful team रखने के कुछ extra फायदे हम try करते हैं निकालने को, wherein they have that team leadership skills are very important for such things, because we might ask you to go meet a client with 2-3 people where we are not able to go. अब वहाँ पे जाकर कोई major goof up ना हो जाए, ₹1 crore का business loss ही होगा, कुछ नहीं होगा. So that's how we try to curate those things.
I hope that's really a brilliant thing that yes, when you're presenting somebody, how you have to. Before we close, I have got certain myths and facts. So in case if you could burst that. The first myth is events are only big budgets. Is it a myth or a fact?
नहीं जैसे मैंने बोला it is a luxury budget. So I mean it is big when it comes to let's say it is even if it is 1 lakh, it might be big for somebody else, but for us 1 crore का भी छोटा लगता है कभी-कभी हमें. So it is not मतलब events are not always big budget events. If you're just hosting 50 odd people over a coffee, it is also an event for you. So it just cannot be the high budget events. So the bottom line for an event is कि अच्छा खिलाओ, अच्छा hospitality दो, उन्हें भेज दो. वहाँ पे क्या लगा है वो 4 लोग ही होंगे notice करने वाले.
Okay. And event planning is stress free and glamorous?
नहीं मेरे सफेद बाल काफी हैं, so जैसे might be getting a sense it is not actually stress free, but glamorous तो है देखो. Since we were discussing earlier industry, जब हम अपनी लाइन बोलते हैं industry तो we talk about the Bollywood industry because we are close to them. तो glamorous है, no doubt. We get to meet a lot of people. Stress free बिल्कुल नहीं है, but yes, you get booze after the event, so if that adds to that.
Finally, the last question. COVID has changed the digital thing. Everything has digitalized. Do you think digital events are having the connection और वो इतने ही amazing है जितने physical events?
Fortunately, we were on the edge in North India, I would say. During COVID times, हम काफी expand किए because we could leverage out our technical skills as I mentioned. तो उस चक्कर में हमारा client base बहुत बढ़ गया. तो after COVID, once they were on ground, सबने call किया यार ये भी करते हो क्या? उन्हें just लगा कि virtual events ही करते हैं. तो just answering that question, yes, we tried our level best wherein एक virtual event में हम same engagement create कर पाएं, curate कर पाएं. That's where we ended up doing offline events for them, जो हमारे clients का भी थे नहीं. तो लेकिन obviously a personal touch is very crucial these days post COVID. अगर right तरीके से वो strategize event तो yes, I mean virtual engagement भी है, but 100% offline वगैरह बिल्कुल नहीं हो सकता because you're not getting coffee there, no?
Perfect. Well, audience, this is the closure of this particular fireside chat. It was more like to understand a lot about the industry, event industry. Now, handing it over to Nima. Was I overshooting या मतलब तुम लोगों ने डर के मारे नहीं किया?
You actually acknowledge the fact that you have crossed the limit and you just take 1 minute or 2 minutes, so we just let it.
Okay. So over to you. Thank you so much, Anmol. Please stay tuned here.